So the next thing is, if we have hard trinomials where we have harder numbers, like 10, 16, 27, there's multiple options that we can do. So what we're going to do is focus on GCF, because that's going to be used for this whole process. So let's go back to something like this. We've got a binomial. If we do the GCF, we're just going to look for anything common. 7 and 5, nothing goes into that. We have y's on both. So we end up with the GCF in front, and the remainder goes inside brackets. We're going to do the same thing here, but what confuses people is you look at this and you don't see a GCF. But if you look closely, the binomials are the same. So the GCF is 2x plus 1, the whole binomial. So we put that in front, and just like here with the remainder goes inside, the remainder is these two pieces here. They go together inside brackets, and we're multiplying this times this, and the binomial times minus 5, just like we have up here. So that's the last step. We're going to kind of work backwards in this. Everything is about GCF. We've covered this one before, but just a quick review. Anytime we have 4, we're going to look for a GCF, and in this case, nothing goes into it. Nothing goes into 5 and 7. This one doesn't have an x. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it into 2 halves. And always straight down the middle, GCF of the first part, 7x goes into both of those. On this side, 5 goes into both, but because there's a negative at the beginning of the section, we're going to take out negative 5. So we took GCF of the first half, GCF of the second half, and now if we look closely, we have the same binomial. So we're going to GCF a third time, and the remainder, what's left, goes in the second set of brackets. So take a look at this one. Try it out on your own, pause the video. Once you get stuck or finish, check your answer. So start by cutting it in half, GCF 3 times. 3x goes into this one. 4 goes into this one. So 3x, 4. Now we know we're doing it right because we have matching binomials. Now the key thing here is it's 4. We have to put in the invisible plus sign. They have to be separated by a plus or a minus between the 2 sections. So once we got here matching binomials, that becomes the third GCF, and the leftover pieces, the remainder goes inside the brackets. So once again, pause the video, try it out, see how you do. So this one, GCF 3 times. 3x goes into this. And remember, take out the negative. Negative 2 goes into both. Be careful with that. So 15x squared divided by 3x is 5x. 12x divided by 3x is 4. We've got matching binomials. We know we're on the right track. GCF a third time. We take the common binomial. It goes in front. The leftover pieces, the remainder goes in. And it doesn't matter which one. You could put 5x plus 4 on this side. It doesn't matter the order. Now we're going to start at the beginning. We have a hard trinomial. It's a hard one because there's a 2 in front that we cannot remove with a GCF. Now this one's harder because it starts with the trinomial. We have to make this into 4 terms. So to do this, I want you to think of a math teacher. And it has to be an old math teacher because we need the letter M. And it has to be old. I want you to picture a math teacher with two really long nose hairs coming out of his nose. And what we're going to use that for is to break this into two different pieces. Now, the M, the shape, tells us what to do. 2x squared does not change. It comes straight down. The 12 does not change. And put the plus sign there as well. What really matters is the 11x is splitting up, but we're going to use these numbers. 2 times 12 is 24. And I'm going to write all the factor pairs of 24. Just like we did with the easy trinomials. There we go. So we need something that adds to 11. 3 and 8 add to 11. So these are my two numbers. So this is what the 11 will be. We're going to split it into 3x plus 8x. And be careful. Make sure that they both have x's. They started with an x. They have to break into x and x. So the key thing is we use the outside numbers to figure out the two that they will break into. But in the end, these two have to go back and add up to this middle term. Now, it's the same as what we've been doing. We're going to break this up into two sections. And we're going to do GCF 3 times. And a common question is, doesn't matter which order. It doesn't matter if the 8 goes first or the 3 goes first. So we take out an x on this one. Take out 4, and it has to be plus 4. And we divide both terms by the GCF. We have matching binomials. We're on the right track. So 2x plus 3 is one of the binomials. X plus 4, the leftover pieces, is the second one. If you want to check, expand it out. Double check that you get your original answer. Okay, pause the video. See how far you can get on this one. There's a lot of steps. You have to draw the letter M, figure out the two numbers, break it, and then GCF 3 times. Pause the video, play it once you get stuck. So, start with the letter M with two little nose hairs. 12 times 6 is 72. We list all the options, and we need negative 17. I've got a 17, but I can switch both of them. Negative 8 times negative 9 is still positive 72. There we go. So 12x squared stays the same. Minus 8 minus 9 plus 6. So I've made a mistake with mine. See if you can spot it. Hopefully you notice that these have to have an x with them, both of them. Doesn't matter which one goes first, as long as they both have x's. So I can take 4x here. I have to take the minus 3 here. Matching binomials, I'm doing it right. There we go. So this one can be a little tricky because people see this and go, well, there's no number there. Remember, if there's nothing in front of the x, invisible 1. Write it in, just so you know. So, letter M, 2 nose hairs. 6 times negative 15 is negative 90. It's a little trickier with the negative. There we go. So the only one that adds to positive 1 Well, I do have -1 here, but I just switched the signs. This will add the +1. So I'll break it in. 6x squared stays the same. My two options. -15 stays the same. On this side, 3x. On this side, 5 is the GCF. Don't forget your plus sign that has to go in there. 2x minus 3, matching binomials. And there we go.